Good evening and welcome everyone back to another episode of the Love Speak. Make sure to like and share this video. Also subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so when we go live, you never miss a chance to let your love speak. I am Chef Earl Pearl at DBCHEFTV, always with the baddest of the baddies, Billy Badass Joe. And
Hey,
we are the
world.
Love Speak. Yes, indeed. How you feeling this evening?
I'm feeling okay. I'm still shaking off the reason why we couldn't shoot last week. I don't know what's going on this season. Some people say it's the flu, some people say it's bronchitis, but whatever it is, it's been kicking my butt. How about you? How you feeling today?
I'm all right, just been relaxing all day, trying to get some things accomplished. Always thankful for another day above ground.
Mm-hmm.
And looking forward to tonight's show. We got a a bomb burner.
That's
We
a
got
good
a
one.
bomb burner tonight, y'all. Yes, indeed. And tonight's topic will be the porn effect of love making. So, we always encourage y'all to tell us what you think in the live chat and let your love speak in the comments. And we're going to go to the Love Speak Q&A to check out our questions for this evening. So, our first question tonight will be, why do you think people watch porn? Second, what are your thoughts on watching porn while being intimate with your partner? Third, what type of problems can watching porn cause in relationships? Fourth, could watching porn be a reason to end a relationship, and why? And our fifth and final, last but never least question, is porn harmful or helpful to a relationship, and why? And like we always say, y'all, let us know what you think in the live chat and let your love speak in the comments. And we're going to go ahead and jump into this first question with Billy Badass Joe. Why do you think people watch porn?
I mean, it's simple. I think there's a multitude of reasons why people watch porn, but the first thing that comes to mind is to learn a skill or
Okay.
a tactic. That's what come to my mind. That's the first thing that come to my mind. Now, there's like I said, a plethora of reasons. Another reason could be pure enjoyment, pure excitement, pure pleasure. Maybe for themselves, if they're alone, maybe if they're with their significant other for a learning process or to spice up things. um and pure curiosity maybe is why somebody might watch porn too. um
Curiosity. Okay.
Curiosity, and I use the word curiosity because there's categories in porn that I've watched not
Okay.
because I am sexually interested in it, but I'm curious to see the motions. Like, for example, man on man porn.
Okay. So you so hold on. So hold up. So you wanted to watch man on man
I
porn?
was interested in it. I wasn't,
Okay.
I was curious. I wasn't
Okay.
looking to watch it for a release effect. I was more so like, with the world being as open book as it is, and lesbian relationships, gay relationships, I'm like, okay, they do it. I want to see what it's like. I mean, I want to see how well they could do some things or take some things that I can't. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to see what it was
Wow.
like.
Wow. Wow. That's what's up though. I mean, hey, if, what were your thoughts?
I
What were
mean,
your thoughts after,
I was like impressed. I was like shocked. I was like disgusted. It was like so many
Okay.
different mixed emotions
Mixed
in one
emotions.
setting. But the one thing that I wasn't was turned on by any means. But I can see a multitude of reasons that people watching porn. And that was just like four or five that I could spew out real quick. What are your thoughts about people watching porn?
Man, okay. So convenience is one.
Okay.
Because of, everybody has a computer in their hand. All you have to do is type it in, say it in, pull it up. What we got? Like you said, learning new moves, people trying
Mm-hmm.
to, learn some new moves or something.
Mm-hmm.
Um, One I've heard from guys is stress relief.
Yeah.
Like I've heard that from guys. I've heard like um I was having a conversation with a group of guys, and we was drinking beers and watching football and trying to and one of the guys asked, we was talking about a military situation, and they was like, man, I know you was gone, deployed, all that. You like, how did you
Right.
go through it? And I was like, well, I did sometimes. I was like, but I didn't a lot, like I didn't, it wasn't my go-to.
Mm-hmm.
And they was like, so we was talking about now, because this was years ago. And I was like, now, like, no, I don't do that. And they was like not even just to like relieve stress, just to like get,
One
and
off
I was
you.
like, nah,
Mm-hmm.
like, nah. So that was interesting, because I didn't know how that conversation was gonna go,
Right.
but definitely, the guys were talking about just to relieve stress, like, and
Yeah.
I was just like, okay, that's a different one. Um, Having a high um sex drive,
Yeah.
just having a very high drive, and always wanting to, to be aroused, or like you just, I don't know, can't control yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Practicing safe XCX. Okay.
Oh.
Because like sometimes people will say, you know, they're abstinent. I thought abstinent is supposed to mean that you refrain from all
Yeah, I
type
thought so.
of uh
Oh.
but I guess
Oh.
like you said, now modern days it's been modified. So
Yeah, 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 yeah.
so it's like, okay, well, no, I'm not. So they would say like, I've heard people say like, that was a safe way to
Mm-hmm.
to practice abstinence.
Mm-hmm.
Um to not cheat. Some people will say, okay, well,
Ooh.
they'll watch porn, instead of cheating,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
What else we got? Fantasy was one of the things
Okay.
you kind of relating to.
Mm-hmm.
But just a little bit in depth on the fantasy, maybe because they're thinking that they won't be able to ever do that in real life with the actual person,
Yes, for sure.
you know.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Maybe they have an addiction.
I,
Maybe people are addicted to porn,
I definitely think that's a big one.
you know. And part of the thing with that is like, because movies, what else? Movies, music, social media,
Mm-hmm.
um it's so much influence, and they emphasize it all the time, like, so it creates this desire subconsciously to people, so they act on these things.
Hold on, real quick. Speaking of the desire or of the social media, it's almost like soft porn is forced on you anyways because of social media. Like the way that the women are dressed, the moves that they're making in front of the camera, a combination of maybe the music in the background or the thought, just the whole picture that's being painted for you. So I
Absolutely, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think soon as you hear the words my so and so brown and my so and so pink, I think
Oh
like you
yeah.
just all the way there.
Get it
like
sexy. Yeah.
you know, yeah, I think it's nothing left to the imagination anymore.
Right, right.
Yeah, so you just already oh wow, okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
But still,
then you start do the carpet match the drape. So is it no carpet?
is it right? Right.
Is it wood floors?
Right. We want to know as the people now.
like now you don't spark interest. At first, I wasn't even thinking about it. So, yeah, I think those are the reasons. Some of the reasons why people watch porn.
I
Uh,
think some of the reasons that you listed are going to be brought back up in our questions to come up, because some of one of them in particular was about watching porn to prevent them from cheating, which I actually can understand that concept. But then there's the other side of it where there's like people who say in their relationship their partner is indulging and watching it way too much, so at this point, their significant other is considering it cheating. And I'm assuming it's because maybe time is being taken away from one partner, or duties or tasks are not being met or missed because of.
duties or tasks.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Because your significant
Great.
other is somebody's significant other is indulging, and way too much in porn. So
Let's get to it. Let's get to it
yeah.
though. So, our next question. Let us know what y'all think in the comment section. Also, smash that like button. And before we get into our second question, y'all, real quick, up there in the top corner, we got the QR code. We got a special sale going on at the DB Chef TV gift shop. We got 15% off right now. But if you wait, and starting Saturday, we're going to have a holiday sale with 25% off the entire website. So click the QR code right now. Y'all can go over there. If you want to go ahead and shop early, go ahead and shop early. If not, then Saturday all the way through January 5th, 2026, we got 25% off everything. Go check it out. We appreciate the love. Moving on to question number 2. What are your thoughts on watching porn while being intimate with your partner?
So for a girl like me, so for a girl like me,
For a girl like you.
I actually don't have negative thoughts on it based upon my real life experiences up until this age. Now, I've never been put in a predicament where I feel like I was being replaced by the figure or the female inside of the porn that was being shown at the time. And I think that that's probably why I really didn't have a problem, or I was more, okay, like it's something that is being done for the moment, in the moment. Now, if I feel like every time I focused up on the individual, if they were focused on the TV, or if I was just feeling like I was a unenthused participant or just there, then it probably.
Do what she doing.
Right, right. If I start getting instructions to do what she's doing, right, then it probably would be a problem,
Do
right?
what she doing. Yeah.
Right. Like change it, like get on your knees like her, like something like that. Then we probably would have a problem. But considering
Oh,
that,
that's crazy.
considering that it let me just set the scenery, all right? And okay, I'm with the significant other at the time. We doing our thing, whatever. We, full playing, keying with each other. And whether it be myself or him that decides to turn it on, the initial attention to the screen ourselves might be there, but it's normally lost within the first 3 or 4 minutes of the damn porn playing. We into each other at this point. And the beautiful thing about it is that once we accomplish whatever we got going on, the porn is still going, maybe. I don't know how long the porn may be at this point in time. We might have had us a good hour and 15, hour and 30 minute porn playing. We might only went for the 45. I don't know. But at the end of the day, when we are done and the porn is still going, it's like a plus for both people in the situation because it almost is like round two without even having to do all of the groundwork or the footwork. So from
That's
my
interesting.
yeah, I mean, you
That's interesting.
landed, y'all
That's
landed,
interesting.
tied and done, y'all done, but they on the screen, they ain't done. You know what I'm saying? You still hearing moaning and groaning and patting and smacking. It might
So we
you
got
think you
so we
thought you
gotta
was about
compete with the TV. We
right.
gotta compete with the TV though. No.
No, because you thought
turn,
you was done.
turn that
Wait,
shit off.
you thought you was done until in the moment of you and your man's silence, you heard. Imagine hearing that for like a straight 5 minutes
so
straight.
so let me ask. So is I'm guessing this isn't one of those curious moments,
Oh
okay?
hell
So
no.
right, so so I'm teasing. So if they on the screen, am I looking at it like, okay, I gotta outdo the dude on the screen, or is she looking at it like I gotta outdo the girl on the
It's
screen? Like,
all
what is
about
the
whoever feeling like whoever that day, that moment. You know what I'm saying?
okay?
It's about what's going on in
Okay,
life, you know? Like
okay,
shit. But that's just my personal experiences. Now, I have heard porn being played during sexual activity and relationships and it not being okay because somebody is doing comparison or trying to, you know, manipulate or maneuver whatever y'all got going on physically into whatever is being presented on a screen, you know? So, I can see it being a double-edged sword. It really seems like what you and your partner are giving up to each other almost. You know, prior to it, like who y'all are. I wouldn't suggest anybody who is shaky in their relationship or unsure or somebody that is even not with taboo activity because it is very taboo actually, even though as much as people want to say, oh, watching sex while you having sex, what's so taboo about it? It's about entering into other people's private intimacy or having them enter into yours, you know.
okay.
What is your are you for it? Are you against it? Like what are your thoughts about it?
Well, I definitely believe that it's for who it's for,
Mhm.
and I guess it could spice up things if, like you said, both people are into that, and that's what they that's what they prefer. But but then there's also that other side where it could spark, it could dim the spark,
Yes.
where you get a guy like, hey, do this, do that, and the girl don't want to do that, or
Yep.
whoever is giving instructions, whoever led the idea, whatever partner led the idea, and they just don't want to do that. um I think a key thing that you said was that the 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 person who is watching, the two people who are engaging and watching, well, this is how I interpret it,
Mhm.
they both have to be in the mindset of watching it to just have stimulation for each
Mhm.
other.
Mhm.
Okay. So, like, that does take a very specific mindset
Mhm.
and one that is not insecure.
Mhm.
Okay. And then you would have to have, which would be the complete opposite, is where you have two people who are maybe trying to get to that place, because I think
Mhm.
like that would be the place you would be trying to get to,
Right.
you know but I'm just like, the door is still open for, hey, can you do that, can you try that, can you try, because you're trying to try something new, because
Right.
obviously those two people have been having intercourse prior to them introducing porn now into it,
Yeah. Yes, yes,
you
yes, yes.
know so my thing would be, in my now come from my personal opinion, all right, that was like the general assessment. You know,
Mm-hmm.
now my own personal opinion is I would want to know what changed. You know,
Mm.
I would want to
See,
know where the spark, where, like why now do we need that
yeah,
when we didn't need that
that
before?
before. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, so that's what I would be trying to get that back.
Mm-hmm.
I would be like, okay, well, if we didn't need that
Mm-hmm.
for us to be intimate, then where we at now, or what you on? You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right,
Like,
right, right, right.
because if it's variety, is it variety? Is it I'm not doing certain things? Is it certain things that you want me to be doing?
Mm-hmm.
That I'm not doing? Are you trying to try out something new and you've seen like uh like you see the way he doing this, I want you to do that
Mm-hmm.
to me like this. And it's like, okay, well, that's an instructional tape. Okay. We we
Mm-hmm.
used to call them that in the military,
Right.
instructional videos. you
Right.
know. That's how we used to pass them around. Be like, you got some instructional material? Cause you can't be walking around the military talking about, man, you got some porn, you got some porn.
Right.
So
Right.
we used to call it instructional material. So, you may use it as that specifically, but once again, like you were saying, you have to be of that mindset that the couple has to be open. um it's one of them things where I'm just like, I'm not into it like that,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
so it would be like I would be trying to be like, what we doing it for?
Right. Yeah.
Like what are we doing it for? And that's why, like, one of the reasons why I don't watch it is because I like to be turned on by the things that my woman does,
Mm-hmm.
to me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So because I like that, then I refrain from doing anything and allow her to be the one to get that,
Mm-hmm.
you
Mm-hmm.
know? And
Mm-hmm.
you fall in love with those things. Like,
Right.
you like it, you enjoy it,
Right.
but if I if I'm watching porn, then of course then I'm probably engaged in some type of touching myself, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that takes away from now when I see, when I'm interacting with my wife,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
you know, then like then now it's not the same, like I'm
Right.
so that's how I look at that. That's how I look at that. I don't know if that is the same for other people, but that's my mindset on it, where I wouldn't encourage it, but that's my own opinion. But I would say, like, if that's what you like and that's what you into and that's what you want to try, and
Yeah.
you think it's you in a relationship and you think it's gonna work for you, then I'm not a relationship expert anyway. So
Right.
try
Right.
what you like.
Yeah, I definitely think
Yeah.
the partnership or whoever they're with, it needs to be to each his own. I don't, because everything you said, I can completely, even though I'm not against it with my partner, every now and again, I don't think what you're saying is wrong. I could feel you 110%, even down to
Yeah.
the notion of like, what the hell is going on differently that now this is something that you want to bring into our realm of life. So, I can understand both perspectives. And you are right as far as where my stance was with being with somebody for an extended period of time. And then this being brought into the relationship as an element of like spunkiness. So that is how it was or I accept it or think that it's okay for lack of better terms. However, I have been in again, almost 40 years on this earth, so I have been in situations where there has been like a time where a newcomer or somebody that I don't have a solid foundation with or a history or a past or anything, like a new experience with this individual, and then like that has been suggested or tried, and then it almost make me look at them crazy, even though I'm the same girl that just said with my significant other for extended period of time, adding this in is like considered seasoning or spice. But the situation has to be very appropriate, because when it was given or offered up in a less in-depth relationship, it made me like very uncomfortable almost. Like it was giving weird. It was giving like, what are you doing right now? Like that's what it was. So I do get the perspective.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It may be what a person like, what they into, but I'm just like, you probably need to let somebody know that at the door,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
But we're gonna get into that a little bit more though as these questions
Right.
continue. Um, Shout out to 77553 Reese in the
Born in
building.
so 70s and 80s.
Porn is so 70s and 80s.
Yes, that's when the music used to come on like doom, 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 in the background. That's so 70s and 80s.
All right. Our third question tonight on the Love Speak Q&A. What types of problems can watching porn cause in a relationship? What types of problems
Mm-hmm.
can watching porn cause in a relationship?
I think numero uno problema is insecurity. I think that on both sides, it's easy to speak up for the man is and say, if you are, watching porn and you got a porn star on the TV that's more well endowed than your significant other, and if he's not secure, I can see immediately how that will cause friction inside of the relationship. I'm talking about probably end up getting your head knocked off almost, like maybe in the
So
middle of the
so hold up
session.
though. Let's touch on that for 1 second. So I think that you may be accurate if you, the woman in that relationship, suggests to watch porn. But what if he does it?
What if
Then
he like picked the video or like
that's what I'm saying. So like if he
okay.
picked the video and the performer is more well endowed than he is, then it shouldn't be a thing, right?
Right.
It would only be a thing where if she
She
picked the
reacts.
video,
Uh-huh.
right, and then she showing you something, she like, let's watch porn, right, and then you like, you watching the porn and dude, like, I ain't hitting like that, like that's what you like,
Right. Uh-huh.
okay,
Uh-huh. Well,
so
go ahead.
yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like that would come in, but if the guy's like, hey, let's watch porn, and then he put on a porn, and the guy's more well endowed than that guy who offers, then you know what I'm saying. Then I don't
It,
think
sh-
that would.
it shows like a level of security within himself. Is that what you're saying?
I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I would just be like, in contrast to that, yes, I would think that it would
Mm-hmm.
in that instance
Yes,
that it,
uh-huh.
yeah, because he's actually putting that on,
Yeah,
you
but
know.
see, it's still I do agree with what you're giving out right now, but it still could leave room for insecurity because he might be secure as far as feeling like, all right, this man, is bigger than me or whatever, because I don't mind my lady watching. Woo, woo. But sometimes it's not even about the boat or the size of the boat. When they say it's really about the motion in the ocean, because if you put on a porno where an average size man, or if a couple puts on a porno and there's an average size man versus a well endowed man, that partner man that is watching with his woman can still end up becoming offended or insecure, because if a man is doing something in that porno that a woman appreciates, like her body being maybe touched a certain way, paid attention to a certain way. And if she ends up honoring those things as she's viewing the video, like, oh, look at how he took his hand down the spine of her back, or oh, look how he pulling her hair or something like that. it don't even matter about size no more. Now it's just about like, damn, the man might be thinking I ain't even fucking this bitch right the whole time. You know what I'm saying?
But isn't that the whole point of what, like, when people introducing it?
Yep. Yep.
You
That
know, so
is.
so that's what I'm saying. So just keeping it on the endowment thing, you
Uh-huh.
know, insecurity aspect.
Mm-hmm.
Like, like that was the goalpost got moved a little bit because now we started talking about touching and rubbing and
Right, 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 right.
other actions, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, just leaving it on that right there. If the guy introduces it, I'm thinking that the guy would not be insecure,
Mm-hmm.
then
Mm-hmm.
if the woman
Woman.
introduces it, because now, if especially if they've been intimate before and it's not something that was introduced like right at the gate, right at the
Yeah.
door, when they first start dealing with each other, it's like, hey, I like to watch, you like to watch porn, I like to watch porn too, okay.
Right.
And then the person introduces it, because now, like you said, if all of this touching and everything now, then it can be taken as, yes, it can increase the insecurity, because now it's like, damn, like, are you not satisfied with what we've been
Mm-hmm.
doing,
Mm-hmm.
right? and
Mm-hmm.
that's where and that's where what I was talking about earlier, when I was just like, I would want to know, when it gets introduced, what changed. If
Right.
everything was good, then what are we doing? Is this now some new type of exploration? What are we doing? Like,
Mm-hmm.
and where did it come from?
Mm-hmm.
you know so I think that would be a fair, I think that would be fair. But yes, it does. Insecurity, it would increase the insecurity. um I think lack of interest could be one of those things as well, that that happens. um Creating a jealousy, that's also something that could be there. um what else we got? Creating distance, and then hiding things. Like, when we talk about, people will people start hiding porn, having porn stashes. I think Billy Badass Joe just popped out. She gonna pop back in. But people having porn stashes, and not not just growing a big old mustache that look like a porn star, but actually having a stash of porn, where it's almost like they hiding it from, their partner, having it, and then it's like, hey, don't go over there, don't open that. What you mean, don't open that? And then there's this thing where, like, um where, like, your partner finds your porn stash, and then, let's say you're in a relationship with somebody who's completely none of that is exactly the opposite of the type of porn that you watch. That'll definitely create, you know, more insecurity, because they'll be like, you watching this and I don't even look like none of this. So that's one of them things that that can possibly happen.
Yes. Sorry, I wanted to pick up where we left off at. My apologies. I had a little bit of
Nah,
technical
no,
difficulties.
it's all right. You back in the building.
Okay, so back to what you were saying. Yes, if they are the one that is choosing that particular setting, and then, hopefully that would minimize the friction. But this was another thing that I wanted to mention about what could be a negative about watching porn in the relationship.
Okay.
Um, Sometimes you think that doing something once is all the, like, it's just a one-time thing, but you might not know the cause and effect that happens until after it's already done. So what I mean by that is, there may be a couple that enter into the relationship or into the porn session thinking that it's just going to be one thing in a relationship, but it might do something to your psyche. And next thing you know, every time you having sex with your partner, you might need to hear or see somebody else doing it as well. Like,
That could be a long-term effect.
yeah, that could be a that could be a negative. And at that point, it's like one person in the relationship is wondering, why do you always need to turn on porn? And the other person can't explain, like, I got a problem now where I physically need to hear and see. Like, it's an excitement for me to know that I'm doing it and somebody else is doing the same thing, and I can hear and see them doing it. You know what I'm saying? And it's not even about,
Yeah, that's weird.
it is weird, but it's a
Yeah, that's
real
weird.
thing. It's a real thing because,
I know Diddy. Yeah,
yeah,
Diddy.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Because I was about
Puff.
to say, I
Yeah.
don't even, I would say, like, if it's a person that's like not going to a particular porn star every time, but they just need to turn on some porn or something just to have it like in the background or something. Like, you could be introducing new demons into your relationship by,
Ooh,
yeah.
that's heavy.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Mm-hmm.
heavy. And yeah,
Yeah.
and creating when you took a technical break, creating jealousy. You know
Oh,
that
yes.
that right there seems to be one of the things I was just breaking down with. That's a jealousy aspect right
Mm-hmm.
there,
Mm-hmm.
because now and it furthers insecurity, but what I said creates distance, creating distance as well.
Mm.
Also because now that person, one of those individuals in that relationship, is okay with watching the porn
Yeah.
occasionally. But if it's like you were describing, where it becomes routine now,
Mm-hmm.
then what happens is it's like, the mindset develops. It's like, am I not enough?
Yep. Yep.
Are you no longer attracted to me?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That you need this in order to be,
Perform
intimate.
that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely, and I was talking about having a porn stash, like hiding. One of the other things it could cause is having secrets
Mm-hmm.
and hiding your porn stash, and um getting your porn stash discovered, and then all of your porn is nothing like the person that you're actually with.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So let's
Yeah.
say you have your partner body shape is different than the type of porn that you watch.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you have all of this porn that's just like, bubbles and
Right.
buns,
Right.
and your girl ain't built like that,
Mm. Right.
So it's like, and then what if all of those, even though they bubbles, they not even the same ethnicity. So now
Ooh.
it's like, you know, and
Breaking her down by the pound.
so then
Yes.
so then it's like, okay. And that creation, I remember back in the day, I don't know if they do this still, but I used to see a lot of memes where it was guys like doing these watching porn memes, like when the girl get ready to leave the house, and
Uh-huh.
soon as she leave the house, then it's like, oh yeah, I get to, play with myself. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like, that's crazy to me.
Right.
That was always crazy to me. Like, soon as your woman leaves, now you're
Yeah.
happy you get to play with yourself. Like, type of sucker shit is that they got going on?
Mhm. Well, maybe they in
That's
the
my
intent.
opinion. That's just
Maybe
my
they in a
opinion.
bad spot in a relationship and she ain't giving up the cooch because things ain't going
Nah,
right.
they
Because
like,
you know
nah.
what, women, they
She like,
don't.
all right, babe. You like these memes like, all right, baby. I'm gonna see you go hang out
Oh,
with your
all
friends. Like,
right.
they encouraging her to go
Yeah.
hang
So
out.
they can have a time with their hand.
So they, yeah, like, stop it.
Another negative thing that porn might bring into the relationship is a financial standpoint, like, because there's free porn everywhere, but I'm imagining once you get to a certain level, you want to see more than what the free offers. So
Yes, that's the
yeah.
word.
Yeah. Masturbating. Yes, masturbating. But I could see that being, I mean, I'm only saying that because I know there are couples that go through things in relationships and they're not even sexual and it end up costing them. Like, for example, one of my closest friends in my life has a wife that has a thing with psychics, right? And like she'll spend like $5,000 a month, like on calling them and like doing all of that stuff that she believes in and like giving up her information and like
Give her
going
my
online.
number.
I know, right? I know, right? But the point, but I can only imagine like
I
if
don't
she
even need the whole
was,
5.
I don't even need the whole five. I could tell you about your future for year 250, like, so, but I'm just saying, like, I see what level that has risen to. So I can imagine if it was something like porn where it starts at, but once you become engulfed and invested, you're invested. And I don't think it just stops with your time. It goes with your energy and your money, I believe.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. It's
Mm-hmm.
man, it's definitely a lot of problems that
Mm-hmm.
can definitely arise. Um let us know what y'all think, what type of problems can watching porn cause in relationships. Let us know in the chat, y'all. Let your love speak in the comment section. Moving on to question number 4. Could watching porn be a reason to end a relationship, and why?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, hell yeah. Heck yeah. Yeah, it can be because if you're prioritizing that porn over what's going on in the real world or in this relationship, then that's a problem. You need to be by yourself and your phone or whatever device you're using to watch it. Um, it's a definitely it could be a reason to leave because even back to some of the things that you were saying in the prior question, if your partner watching porn is making you insecure as an individual and there's certain things that you can't, I mean, even if you could do it, why do it just because your partner is addicted? For example, when we talked about the body shape of a woman can go lay on the table and change that if she was that invested. But like you just said too, once you find out that he's watching 4 different ethnicities, you can only be but you at that point,
Right.
so I mean, you could change your hair, we can take the lashes on or off. We can use makeup to change our features, but the scent that's coming out your body is still you. You are who you are even after it's done. When he goes inside of you, you still the same feeling, that he's been feeling. So I feel like there's a multitude of reasons why it would be okay to leave your relationship if a partner was stuck on watching porn.
Mm.
Even down to let's flip it and say the other side, a woman that's constantly watching porn, okay, or that is constantly pleasing herself. There's multiple ways to do that, I would assume,
Yeah.
but let's go with the most common. When you think of like the toys that they put out there, for example, the rose,
I mean,
okay,
it's all considered, you know.
right, master,
Yeah.
right. So
Yeah.
doing something as such as that or getting the job done before your partner has the ability to help you get it done or get it done for you, it's almost like, are you going to allow them to clock in when the shift is over, or are you done? Are you tired of working?
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then and then
That's an
if that
aspect. That's an
that's the
aspect.
aspect. And if you're
Yeah.
constantly performing the work by yourself, the job, it's like I could see the partner being like, well, what about me? And then that leaves them to go unpleased or unpleasured. And then next thing you know, they're cheating or they're feeling like they're not adequate because they can't get something from their partner. And at that point, it's like, no, you need to leave. If he or she can't stop that, and it's causing a rift between y'all because they're done before you can even get started, like that's a problem.
So if they can't stop this right here,
Mm-hmm.
and they can't stop, of course, that would be inclusive of watching porn,
Mm-hmm.
then that's a reason they should be like, to heck with this.
They should be like, to heck with this.
Okay, so look, I ain't agreeing or disagreeing. I just want a little pushback though.
Okay.
Okay. So what if you're in a situation with a person that's like, it's just porn. I'm just watching porn.
Uh-huh.
That's it. Like, remember how we said earlier, like one of the reasons is people will give a reason like they watch porn because they don't want to cheat,
Cheat. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
you know? So what if that is like where they're leaving it at? They
You
haven't assessed that they have an actual problem, you know? But they're just using, look, it's just porn. They
right.
haven't assessed that they have an addiction, that they
Right.
addicted to watching porn. They haven't acknowledged that they have an obsession with watching other people be intimate. You know
Perform.
what I'm
Uh-huh.
saying?
Uh-huh.
So like they haven't gone and self-reflected and took accountability that this is something that I'm doing simply to pleasure me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm not considering that my partner feels some type of way about it and is saying, hey, like I would like
Mm-hmm.
to, be the one to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if they're saying like, well, look, it's just I'm not cheating, it's just watching porn, right? In the argument of should I leave the relationship or not?
Yeah.
What if the person is like, well, look, I don't want to ask you all the time because you busy. Or I don't want to ask you all the time because, you know, my sex drive is higher than yours.
Right. Right. Right.
And you may be like, damn, we just did it like 5 times
Yeah.
2 minutes ago, you know? So
My
what do you think?
response.
Should that person leave? Should that person still
It depends, but I'm going to say yeah because
they still
listen,
should
because
yeah.
listen,
They
I
still
get
should
it.
leave.
If they tell me that this is what they doing to refrain from cheating, okay, because I do genuinely understand that. But if you think you about to cheat me out of a good time, right? Me,
Ah,
yeah,
look.
yeah, because yeah. Cheating is more, yeah, cheating is more than one thing.
You think you about to cheat me out of a good time. I like
Exactly.
that. I like that.
So,
I like that.
so I do think in a relationship where you give your partner the opportunity to fulfill that, and if they say, like you said, we didn't win 5 times, and you know your partner is a high sex drive partner, it's kind of like, okay, y'all do need to find a common ground. So nobody does have to exit. If I'm telling you, like, I still want some, and I need you to be able to get that to me when I want it, then I feel like that's fair if the partner can produce that. But if they're telling you, oh, I'm drained, I'm tired because I just took care of myself an hour ago, I masturbate, like that's going to be a problem. But in the same token, if you know your partner is high sexually driven and you know you don't want them to cheat on you and you did what you did for the day and you're done. And if you walk in the room and that's what they doing, you almost, as long as they're not using my credit card and running up a bill, I'm almost okay with it because if you what are you supposed to do? You get what I'm saying?
You join in? Ain't you supposed to join in if you catch
Yeah, the
your
first
part?
5 times, but at the number 5, if the part is tied, they just tied, and then the other partner's still ready to go. It's like you gotta meet your partner in the middle. So you gotta give it up sometimes because in a relationship, now this might make the people go crazy. You gotta give it up sometimes in a relationship because that's part of your duty in the relationship. Now, I'm not saying that I'm not saying that you need to let a man or a woman have it whenever they want just because they're your significant other. But what I'm saying is that for
Oh,
you to
boo, boo,
right,
boo,
right. But what I'm
boo.
saying is that when you got committed to somebody, you knew one of the things that needed to be on the checked off list was intimacy to some degree, whatever that looks like between you and your partner. So, yes, do your part. Once your part is done, if your partner is still needing or lusting or wanting in that area, because it is a real thing. Some people do have high sex drives. Then
Yeah.
it's like, what do? You have to meet them somewhere. And if you already gave it up and they still want to go, do you want them to go outside and sleep with the neighbor? Do you want them to go pick up a prostitute? Where it's just very transactional. Do you want them to go have another girlfriend where, they bounce in between the two? Or are you content with making sure you buy baby oil or lotion and knowing where your partner is or double A batteries, whatever might be needed, and knowing where your partner is and what they doing. And you like to what you said earlier, it's safe. They're not bringing you back no venereal diseases. They're not bringing you back no crazy, unstable, mentally sane, mental person. They're not, so I kind of feel like that question that you asked, do you leave your partner? Nah, you meet them in the middle. And then if your partner is taking for granted that you giving it up to them, even sometimes when you don't want to, just because you know they got a high sex drive and they can't seem to go please themselves and they do need to go outside, you need to leave them. Because what can you
Okay.
do? Yeah, what can you do?
Well, I will say this before we move to our last question of the evening. You can have discipline because that is the thing that allows success and the best. So you could have discipline. You could compromise with your partner and exercise some discipline.
When you
Because
say discipline, are you sorry to cut you up, but I need clarity. Are you saying just don't have a high sex drive?
I'm not saying don't have a high sex drive. Like you can't tell nobody not to have that, right? What I'm
Right.
saying is that the discipline is if I'm in a relationship and my partner is telling me that, you know, they can't go as much as you like to go,
Mm,
okay? Then what you do is you get what you can get,
mm,
but then you also are patient and anticipate that
yeah.
instead of those things that you were saying, like going and cheating, going and going
Mm-hmm.
outside the relationship for anything, even if it is watching porn, you
Mm-hmm.
know.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I'm talking about. That's discipline. That's self-discipline where you're saying, okay, like, so instead of me using all of this extra time that I have to either play with myself or
Mm,
go put this energy into my little head, why don't I
mm,
use my big head and try to create something else
mm,
and repurpose that energy into something that's going to be beneficial, so we ain't got to always smash around the house. We
right.
can go and smash in Dubai because instead of me playing with my little guy, I was working on a plan for us to take a trip somewhere so it could be, you know, more exotic and more
Right.
erotic.
Mm-hmm. Right, 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 right.
So that's what I'm saying. Like there can be discipline. It doesn't
Mm,
have to be always just the weaker option. The
right,
weak version. The weak version is go cheat. Cause it's
right.
always somebody lonely. It's always somebody you can lie to. It's always somebody that's, looking, that's thirsty. It's
Yep.
always, all of this stuff exists. So like that's the easy part. If you handsome, you fly, you look good, you cute, whatever, for the ladies to the gents to whatever gender, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you attractive, then you're going to attract.
Mm-hmm.
So you
Mm-hmm.
can find somebody who ready to do something with you.
Right, right.
Like that's
Yeah,
easy.
right.
That's the easy part.
Mm-hmm.
The difficult part is always getting to know someone, building a relationship with them, and then learning these type of things about the person,
Mm-hmm.
their comfort levels of
Mm-hmm.
things. So,
Mm-hmm.
they could have that discipline, or they could just, live,
Yeah,
live,
yeah.
live. Who this pulling up in the chat? Oh, Bubble and Brown says the word nymphomaniac still used.
Right, because
Yeah.
I am kind of thinking that like as you're talking, I
Mm-hmm.
do think that to be able to exercise discipline is good and valuable in a relationship. But if you are genuinely or truly a nymphomaniac, like exercising discipline would be not to go cheat, but to go use the computer or something like that, or the phone or electronical device or something, because there are just some people that really just have a problem.
Well, Willie D told me let a hoe be a hoe.
Let a hoe be a hoe.
Okay.
You ain't lying about that. And that's for both ends, men and women.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
That was non-binary.
Non-binary for show.
So back to the Love Speak Q&A tonight, y'all. We've been having a good time answering these questions. And we are at our fifth and final question. Make sure to tell us what you think in the live chat and let your love speak in the comments. We appreciate y'all for pulling up and smash that like button. Is porn harmful or helpful to a relationship, and why? Billy Badass Joe.
It really depends on the couple. That's all I'm going to say in a relationship, because I can see it being a beautiful thing for a relationship, and I can see it being a detrimental thing for a relationship. Um, Basically, I'm just going to recap. If it's going to be beneficial to a relationship, it's because y'all are using it as a healthy standpoint to learn new things with each other, to add spice, light a fire in the relationship, or simply just turn things up a notch. I can definitely see it being harmful for reasons that you listed as well, that I thought of too. Like, one you said was insecurity. That definitely could be harmful. Or just becoming, just allowing new demons into your relationship again, like I said. Putting
That's
your
crazy.
psyche in places that you didn't even know it was going to go until you expose yourself to it. So I definitely think that it is not for the weak, and you need to be very secure and sure of who you are and who you are with. With that being said, I do think there are times where people have used porn as manipulation in their relationship as well.
How
And
they
I
do
think
that? How they do that? How they how
I
they
think
how
I
you
think
manipulate with
I
porn?
think that when it's used as manipulation in a relationship, I think that's done strategically because one partner knows the insecurities of the other partner. And very much like in any abusive relationship, they do certain tactics to break you down. So that way, later, when you're this down here, they can be the ones to pick you up when they feel like it. And then when they feel like dropping your
How
ass
does how,
again,
how does that work? How does that work though?
like you
Like,
just said earlier, putting on a slew of females that your female ain't nothing resembling like why would
and
you
and
do that?
and trying to so if but I
Like why
thought
would you do that?
but I thought if you watching porn, like you just watching porn. So because I wasn't correlating that to like a manipulation. Like the way you did that, that's interesting. And I'm just like, okay, so like I'm trying to understand it like from a very basic point of
Yeah,
like, okay, like are we watching it? And I'm like, you don't do what she doing to him like that
yeah,
to me.
yeah.
Oh
It
wow,
it
that's
is
that's
men that
cold.
do that. I mean, that type of man usually does a whole bunch of other stuff in a relationship too as well. That would be red flags. But I I know of a female friend of mine who has been in shambles and tears, off of the fact. I mean, that her man was a dog all the way around. He used to do a whole bunch of manipulating stuff.
Clearly.
But yeah, yeah, yeah. But I mean, I'm like, wow, what did you like? What do you mean? Like, and it was similar to what you were saying, like, oh, he likes, Spanish girls and she's a black girl, you know?
Right.
And I'm
Right.
like, why he like Spanish girls? Because he always picking a porn with a Spanish girl. It ain't different flavors. It ain't, it's this specific build, the specific length of hair, she talks a foreign language during the porn and all of that. And he's saying things to her while they watching it like, ooh, damn, look at her. Or
Call me
damn,
Poppy.
yes, you hear what she's saying? I wish you could talk another language. Like, why would you say that to my friend? Like, she never talked Spanish the whole time y'all was
I
together.
don't mean
Like,
to be laughing, but it's funny.
no, but if I mean when you're not in it, it is funny as hell. Cause I sit back and think about it too. Like, what the hell? You can't, cause see, a girl like me, he get to doing that. I tell her on the phone, Well, you go ahead and you go pick you some fine, you know what I'm saying? Well endowed, buff 8-pack having, 52-inch arm, you know what I'm saying? Every time y'all watch porn. But see, it wasn't her stilo because for one, that's not the type of person she was. And for two, she would have not, that wasn't her aim to enter porn into their relationship for the reason to break her man down. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
So
right.
she wouldn't have known how to kick that back to him anyways, but that was just sheer, breakdown manipulation. But he did hella things throughout their relationship to break her down that didn't even have to do with porn. So I just like when I got a wind of that, I'm like, damn, he don't got no limits. Like, so
Yeah,
it can be used as manipulation as well.
yeah. If she would have listened to the advice from Billy Badass Joe, then she would have been able to get her move her chess pieces on the board. I feel you.
Or she might have had to pick her head up between the washer and dryer. But either way.
And that's no good. That is no good.
That's no good. We do not condone violence over here.
Not at all. But
Hmm.
but
Which I mean,
I do agree
I
with you
oh, I was gonna
that
say I know how you feel, but let the world know how you feel.
nah, I do agree that two people that if that's what works for them, that's their thing.
Hmm.
So more power to them.
Hmm.
Um but I definitely think that it's more harmful
Hmm.
than helpful.
Hmm.
Because there's a lack of discipline. And I'm not saying that like okay, like if it's a constant thing, like even though all of those things where it opens up to being a constant thing,
Hmm.
where it's anything that removes you from experiencing that person that you fall in love with or that you could made that commitment to, you know,
Hmm.
I'm like anything outside of that, y'all are allowing, like you said, other things to come in and possibly cause harm to the
Hmm.
relationship. So, like I don't think that a lasting relationship, like a serious relationship,
Hmm.
will thrive in an environment like that
Right.
because of all of those things that we discussed tonight, this evening, with you know with so many different factors where you have the insecurities, you have the distance, you have the uh I mean, it was so many. I mean, with somebody getting knocked in between some washers and dryers, like I mean, physical violence, like damn. I mean, how
Right.
that don't sound like love.
No, yeah, yeah, yeah. I get it.
That
Yeah.
don't sound romantic. That don't doesn't sound intimate.
Right.
And if the goal is to get love right, then, you know, I'm not gonna champagne the campaign for people watching porn
Right, right, right.
in their relationships. Now
Hmm.
if you watch porn on your own time, that's your own business. And to be abstinent, to be the new abstinence, or you practicing celibacy or whatever,
Okay.
whatever you tell yourself,
Hmm.
practicing safe sex. You know what I'm saying? So like, you don't want to go out here and contract anything or give anybody nothing or whatever your situation is. Um, I can understand why people do that.
Hmm.
But as far as our question in relation to relationships, I see the fun,
Hmm.
but the harm looks bigger.
Right.
When we
I can
when we
agree.
making that list of the fun, and then
Hmm.
we making that list of the harm, it's way more things on that harm list than it is on the fun list.
Right. I'm
You
feeling you.
know,
Yeah. That the gamble ain't worth the
ain't
possible
worth the
outcome.
jackpot. Yeah, the
Right,
gamble ain't
exactly.
worth the jackpot for real.
Yeah. Hmm.
You know at least, and that's just my opinion. To
Right.
like we said, it's no right or wrong answer, to each their own. Everybody, it's your life. live it how you want to. It's your thing. Do what you want to do. I can't tell you who
Right.
to sock it to. Y'all know how the
Exactly.
song
We
go.
are not counselors or PhD degrees. We are just people who have lived life and speaking from experiences of our own.
Yes, indeed.
Hmm.
So tonight, y'all, on the Love Speak Q&A, we had 5 questions. Why do you think people watch porn? What are your thoughts on watching porn while being intimate with your partner? What type of problems can watching porn cause in relationships? Could watching porn be a reason to end a relationship? And why is porn harmful to a relationship? And why? Okay, is porn harmful or helpful to a relationship, and why? All of those tonight went down with our discussion about the porn effect of making love. And we always encourage y'all to tell us what you think in the chat and let your love speak in the comment section below. We always answer the comments, and we definitely respond to them, and we appreciate them when y'all do that. So that's all we have for tonight. I want to thank everybody. We want to thank everybody. Billy Badass Joe want to thank everybody for pulling up tonight. Shout out to 7553 Reese and Bubbling Brown in the chat for turning up with us, and everybody else out there. Y'all make sure to
Appreciate y'all.
smash that like button. We appreciate it. Share the content, y'all. Help us get to 1,000 subscribers. And don't forget, right now, we got a sale at www.dbcheftv.com gift shop. You can use the QR code right up there in the corner. Just hold your device up to it and scan it. We got 15% off. We got the 25. Just wait 2 days. Just go check out what we got now. And then on Saturday evening, go make your purchase. You can shop all the way until January the 5th, 2026. So we're going to got 25% off at DBCHEFTV. Y'all see right there? Bam. Now all the way through the new year. So you can get drippy through the new year.
Yeah.
And we want to make sure that that y'all tune in next week right here. Make sure to smash that like button one more time. Hit that subscribe so when we go live, you never miss a episode of the Love Speak. Everybody have a peaceful, positive, and productive week's end, because this the weekend right here. The
The
weekend.
weekend.
This the weekend eve.
Yeah.
All right. So y'all had do something sexy this weekend. Why don't you? All right. Get ready for the holidays. We're gonna check y'all out around Turkey Day sometime. And we appreciate y'all for pulling up. So once again, I'm Chef Earl Pearl at DB Chef TV. Always with the baddest of the baddies, Billy Badass Joe. And this has been the Love Speak. See y'all next time.
Good night, world.
This whole publication is all about going from nowhere to somewhere, right? Being able to stand on something so that you can travel in peace, right? So bksoulfarm.com, 1016 160 self-sustainability. Jump on the list and get yourself together, right? Because it is irresponsible to not even know what responsibility means. So get yourself together, food, clothing, and shelter, protection of that, support your interests, and live.
It's the most wonderful time of the year again, where families make new memories, share old memories, and celebrate the new year. So visit the DB Chef TV gift shop for the best stocking stuffers to add to your holiday cheer. Enjoy 25% off our entire site now through January 5th, 2026. At the Veteran Kettle Podcast, we thank you for your service, support, and sacrifice to our country. Listen to real stories of adversity and triumph as we give our best to honor our vets. Subscribe today and watch episodes now streaming on YouTube at TVK Podcast, The Veteran Kettle. Love ain't always easy, and we won't stop until we get it right. So bring that ass to the Love Speak Podcast. Subscribe today and let your love speak at TLS Podcast, The Love Speak, now streaming on YouTube. If it's Friday night and you don't have a date, then brunch with the fellas is your spot, so don't be late. We go up at 9 p.m. with the trending topic news. Smash the like, comment, subscribe, and share the content. Don't be rude at Brunch Fellas, now streaming on YouTube. Exchange insights Sundays at 8 p.m. East Coast time with the Cigar Panel, smoking on words like two big nerds. Hosted by DBCHEFTV and BK Soul Farm at Cigar Sundays on YouTube. Subscribe and hit the notification bell, so when they go live, you never miss an episode of Cigar Sundays Live.
Sign up for the newsletter and shop merch and clothing at www.dbcheftv.com.